Hello beautiful people, my name is Kristen. Thank you for stopping by my channel today. I am doing what is called my personal treasure tag. I was tagged by the awesome MJ at This Reading Life, and basically there's not a set of questions, it's just a sharing of 4, 6, or 8 of your favorite books and why. I think I have definitely mentioned all of these in a video at some point, but some of them were on a previous channel under a book video amongst a bunch of other videos that probably nobody has seen, at least my subscribers on this channel. So I'm just going to quickly kind of go through and share and tell you the interesting tidbits that I think you may want to know, because they're the things that I kind of geek out on. And if you're watching this, you are probably a book lover or a bookstore lover or library lover like I am, and you would appreciate some of these random things. This book here is one of my treasures. It is a copy of Anne of Green Gables. It is not a first edition or anything, but what's cool about this is I had this when I was a little girl, had my book plate in here, and it was my mother's that she got in 4th grade back in 1954, and her name was Anne, A-N-N, and after reading this book and falling in love with Anne of Green Gables, she legally, at first opportunity to change her name legally, changed it to A-N-N with an E, and this is the exact copy that she first encountered Anne. So it has been a very treasure to me. I did read this when I was in 4th grade. My mom gave this to me, and I didn't honestly love it. I did do a reread of it recently in a newer version that I got, and I think I liked it more as an adult than I did as a 4th grader. And I just really appreciate the fact that that was one of those early sparks that got my mother so into reading, which then got passed on to me. I also have this awesome copy of Shakespeare works and poetry that was my great uncle's. My great uncle was an author and writer. He was published. I can leave a couple of his books or links below, but he also had a complete set of Shakespeare works, and they were not original to him. I can see like there's other names and inscriptions in this, but these are super old. I can tell they were special to him. They were displayed in a prominent place in his dining room, and when he passed, his wife had asked me what it was that I would like to have of his to keep, and he had already actually blessed me with his writing desk where he had done some of his writing, but now I have his copy of his Shakespeare, and they are kind of falling apart and rustic, but I think anything, that has those kind of stories and history and family ties are just so special. If you have watched my channel for any length of time, you know that what I personally collect are the penguin cloth bounds. So I started collecting these in college and intentionally asked for them at birthdays and Christmas gifts and all that kind of stuff. And it was also really my entry point into, now I own these beautiful books, I have a goal to read the classics. And what I really mean by the classics is starting with the classics, but now I'd like to expand even beyond to the classics of the entire world, because if you look at the penguin cloth bound, they're predominantly the British old school, old men authors, few women in there though. And but they are just beautiful, lovely editions. This one, the picture of Dorian Gray, I did a reread of it. It had been about 7 years, I'm thinking, since I had read it originally. And so it is still one of my top classic books, and I will do a separate review of this book specifically. And then finally, I know I have talked about this before, but it bears mentioning, especially if you ever visit Washington, D.C. I have a strong recommendation for the book lover who visits Washington, D.C. So this copy here are selected plays of Bernard Shaw. It contains a play, St. Joan, that I was actually in for one summer, got paid a small stipend so I can claim that I was a paid actress. I mean, that works, right? But I found this book on my birthday, purchased by my father in a place called the O Street Mansion. So I will leave a link or tag that below. If you are in DC, it does require a reservation and there is a small fee to actually get into this hotel. But what it is I think it's 4, maybe 5 townhomes, row homes in old school, old buildings downtown in DC. And they bought them and, made passages and whatnot through them and turned it into like a hotel. And because it wasn't designed that way originally, it's like weird little steps and pass-throughs, and they put portraits and mirrors and all kinds of things that you have to pop and be secret passages, so you can actually explore it. There's different packages to get like champagne or cocktails or music nights, or there's these kind of themes that go on certain times, and you can just explore and just wander around. When obviously you get to a room that somebody has rented out, that will be locked, and there's a little notice like this is not open to the public at this time. And so anytime you go, it could be a different passage or a different way through depending on who's rented what room. And supposedly a lot of celebrities and famous people stay there because there's all these back ways in and out of the hotel as well, so people can come and stay there and nobody even knows where they are. It's very secretive. And the other cool thing, this is where I'm getting to the book part, every single thing, all the furniture, all the decorations and books are lining almost every single room, and they're all from estates and donations and vintage things. Everything's for sale, so you can basically, if you really like something as you're walking through and exploring, you can pick it up and buy it. And they tried to do the books by theme of either the theme of the room, like there's an Elvis rock and roll room, there is a history Civil War, there is a cottage nature rustic room. And so they try to put these books, there's like a garden room, there's a cookbook kitchenette kind of room, all these kind of things, and you'll find those kind of books there. So, and then this was actually in a pass-through hallway that's poetry. That was really cute, so I found that in the poetry area. But you can just pick it up and purchase the book, so it's like a little bookstore. It is a fantastic place. So this is what I wanted to do on my birthday for that year, and took my parents who had never experienced this, and we just had a brilliant time. And my dad bought this, and it was a play that I had done, and it was from this awesome place. So that is my special little treasures that I wanted to share. Everybody's got a lot of treasures that you could share, but I'll just leave it with those. Hope that you will consider sharing some of your treasures. Hold on a minute, let me see who hasn't done this tag, and I'm going to tag a couple people because I neglected to look to see who hadn't done it. Hold on. The original tag was by Book Songs and Other Magic. I will leave the original tag linked, and then I'm going to tag the 3 ladies that I am doing book readings, buddy reads with this month, because I would love to see your personal treasures. So Michele at Books Cause Insomnia, Nikki at Red Dot Reads, and Sandy at Mrs. Reads a Lot. You are tagged in this. Please feel free at your convenience to show us some of your personal treasure tags. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. Like and subscribe. I appreciate your time and stopping by. Take care, y'all.